Hello and welcome back to another part of Heileen. Yes, more Heileen 3 New Horizons. Let's get to it, shall we? Ibile mentioned that many herbs and plants were transported from West Africa, and some ingenious ones, ingenious ones, looked similar to the ones that she was knowledgeable about. I'm surprised this island hasn't been inhabited yet. It's beautiful, though. It was a sweeping land of green with gorgeous rivers, waterfalls, pristine pools, and white beaches. I think Morgan told me this was declared neutral territory between the British and French. Morgan sure knows his islands. We explored the island with a bee occasionally kneeling down to examine a plant or potential herb. The basket leisurely hung from her arm while I twirled my empty basket around and around my wrist. Hang on a second. I do return. Dear me. There were a lot of flowers and plants that I did not recognize. Some resembled a ladder of crab claws tipped with green, while others mirrored hearts that appeared waxed or glazed and shone from an angle. As I marvelled at an orange cluster of flowers, I noticed Ibile looking at a tree with shredded red bark. Is that tree sick, or is it natural? I'm sure it's natural. She curiously peeled some and dropped them in her basket. Can bark be used in medicine? Yes, sometimes it can be used for rashes or for a tea. Of course, I don't know if there are any benefits to using this particular type. I guess we'll have to experiment. What if it's poisonous? It's fine. One way to test it is to see if my skin has any reaction to it or its oils. Someone should start a catalogue. That way it can help people like us wanting to know more about plants. That does sound like a fun idea. You should do it, Heileen. Me? Well, I do like beautiful flowers. Maybe I can pick some and dry them. I began to gather some eye-catching flowers while Ibile finished collecting the herbs she needed. I should bring some seeds back to see if Marie can grow them. Once Ibile felt that she had enough herbs in the region, we returned to the ship. It was pretty fun looking at all of the exotic flora. Ibile always had a passion for flowers and plants in general. She was a great help. Dancing with Juliet. Hurry up, you're lagging behind. Right. I grumbled as I followed Juliet to a quiet part outside of the town, away from civilians. I'm not sure why Juliet was insisting on giving me fencing lessons off the ship. She probably liked the privacy. I glanced at the rapier Juliet had given me earlier, looking at the thin blade. Why fencing, out of all things? Pirates don't fence. They focus on slashing, not thrusting. True, but I like to fence, and it takes more skill than a cutlass. Besides, it's good for the body. It keeps you in shape and in perfect form. Can't argue with that. It's also beneficial to know how to wield different swords. Skills picked up from fencing have been useful for me, such as feinting and rhythm in attacking. She stopped walking and pivoted toward me. This is a good spot. Shall we begin? I pulled out my rapier, but Julia made a curt gesture to stop me, leaving me confused. What are you doing? Put that away. You shouldn't even be allowed to touch the hilt until you perfected the footwork. Huh? Fencing is all about the footwork. Your movements must be fluid and precise. To see quirky or clumsy movements would be an insult to the art. Now let's get to the proper stance and guard. She stood with her feet shoulder width apart, with one foot pointing forward and the back one facing sideways. Her rear hand was raised upward, while her sword hand held an invisible weapon, her palm facing up. I copied her, and Juliet's eyes simply narrowed, and she shook her head. Are you right-handed? Then put your right foot in front. Also, your left knee should be over your rear toe. Put your rear foot sideways. Juliet walked around me, barking corrections while I struggled to stay rooted to the spot. I shifted my elbows as she commanded, finding the position rather awkward. I don't find this position natural at all. No one stands like this. I felt a sharp jab to my back. Shut up. It's a very stable position, and you can protect yourself better. Now, we're going to learn how to advance and retreat. Without a sword? We need to perfect your agility and elegance first. Now, when you advance towards your opponent, your front foot always moves first. All afternoon, Juliet guided me through the motions, correcting me until her voice became coarse from all the yelling. It was an exhausting day, and the sun beaming straight down did not help. By the time I was allowed to rest, I was drenched in sweat and still wasn't allowed to touch the hilt. Not bad. We still have lots of work to do, so be ready for next time. If there will be a next time. What was that, birdie? Nothing. Let's know, right? Don't let me get in the way of whatever you plan to do today. I hastily excused myself, wiping the perspiration off my forehead. When she was out of sight, I sighed heavily. I glanced down at the sword attached to my belt. Should I bother continuing? Juliet is a hard teacher to please. Juliet's ability with the sword is amazing. She's the best teacher I could find. Blah, 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 herbalist. Let's go with Marco. He mostly knows about the spices to cook, but Marco's knowledge of hers was surprising. Da, 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 da. Let's see, we know Bele does. Bele, Sigmund Morgan. I suppose that Morgan was very skilled with the sword. Vincent with Sebastian. Okay. Okay. I decided to give a hand in the kitchen for today, so Marco assigned me to serve the food. As usual, everyone here was enjoying their meals. I went in and out of the kitchen, and even if I was getting tired, the wonderful aroma of Marco's dishes managed to invigorate me. Then once supper was over, almost everybody left to rest or return to their job. Except for Laura, who waved at me and asked me to sit beside her. Do you need anything, Laura? Perhaps some wine? No, I'm good. I just wanted to talk. Oh yeah, we've hardly gotten a chance to talk properly over the past few days. Sorry about that. You don't have to apologise. I completely understand. Our new lives are keeping both of us busy after all. Speaking of new life, how have you been? Are you feeling sad or anything? Sad? Darling, I'm the complete opposite of sad. I feel so blessed and glad. This life has been nothing but perfect for me. Great climate, no social restrictions, no more people who judge what you do. It's complete and absolute freedom. So, you don't miss anything from our previous life? Anything at all? Nothing. All the people I love most are here with me, so what's there to miss? I raised my eyebrow and Laura paused as she stared up at the ceiling, lost in thought. Well, as a matter of fact, I do miss one thing, but it's so trivial and unimportant that it's almost embarrassing. I'm sure it isn't. Just tell me. Apple pie. It's my favourite dessert and I haven't had a taste of it in a long, long time. Apple pie, huh? Can you wait here for just a moment, Laura? I've forgotten to do something, and if I don't do it soon, Marco will get angry. Okay then. I went to the kitchen and quickly called for Marco's attention. Yes, what is it? Do you know how to make an apple pie? Of course I do. Then can you help me make one for Laura? It will be a surprise. Sure. Marco and I worked on the apple pie together for a few hours. Once it was ready, I brought it out of the brick oven and hurriedly ran out to the kitchen with it. Be careful with that, Heileen, it's still hot. Once I got out of the kitchen, I quickly scanned the whole dining area. I quickly realised that Laura had disappeared from her table. Figures. I've been in the kitchen for a long time after all. So I decided to go look for her in her cabin. Oh, I just hope she's there. I finally arrived and knocked on the cabin's door, barely containing my excitement. Laura opened it, and the minute she saw me, she gasped and then clapped her hands with glee. Thank you so much. You should come in here and help me. I won't be able to eat all of that alone. She invited me into her cabin. I gladly accepted. Only when I got in did I realise there was no one else inside and Laura was wearing nothing but her dancing outfit. Where's Otto? He's off doing a few errands. That's good, he might hog all this to himself, you know. Laura laughed as I cut the first piece of pie. Eat it. I instantly took a bite out of it and Laura laughed. Couldn't wait to try it. That was gluttony. Sorry about that, I couldn't my tongue, it burns. The pie was still too hot. I somehow managed to swallow the piece without even chewing it, and I instantly regretted it, for I almost choked. Cough, cough. My goodness, are you alright, dear? You scared me. Laura came close and started caressing my face. Cough. I'm so sorry for worrying you, Laura. It seems that the pie is still too hot. After a short ruckus, Laura calmed down and gave me a gentle smile. It should be better to wait for it to cool off, don't you think? Agreed. Why are you dressed like that anyway? Oh, this. I usually would sleep naked, but Otto doesn't want me to do that anymore since we're currently living with pirates. Laura rolled her eyes as if to mock my uncle. And since it's so hot in here, I decided to wear the lightest outfit that Otto would still approve of. Laura continued talking, but my mum was too busy making up images for me to listen. Images of Laura being naked. Upon realising what my mind had come up with, I blushed and quickly changed the topic. The pie should be ready now, let's eat. Sure. I will be again. Here you are, Heileen. Morgan, what's up? We're about to sail. It will take 2 days to reach the next colony. I see, thanks for telling me. Rest. I just finished eating my breakfast. I was just about to start my day at work when I heard John's voice calling out my name. I turned around to ask him what he wanted, but I saw no one behind me. Huh? That's odd. Maybe I was just imagining things. I shrugged and chose to walk away, but once again I heard John's voice calling me. I turned around yet again, and I could still see no one behind me. Is he teasing me or something? John, if you're making fun of me, I'm going to punch you so hard you'll be flying off this ship. Look up. I looked up to see him awkwardly repairing some of the ship's damaged sails. What do you want? John climbed down and gave me a grin. Heileen, I need your help. Agreed to help. Upon remembering the ridiculous state he was in earlier, I decided to help him. Kindness. Oh, diligence. Sure, I'll help. You looked really clumsy a while ago, and we can't have that now, can we? Yes, it's because of my muscles, you see. What about them? Do they hurt? John's grin grew even wider when he heard the concern in my voice. No, they don't. It's because of my muscles that I lack the agility to be a rigging monkey. A rigging monkey, huh? Someone who carves a boat's mast and takes care of the boat's sails. Oh, I see. Then it really must be them. Smaller people are better off as rigging monkeys anyway, not muscular guys like you. I climbed up and with agile hands I started doing the job. I looked behind me and saw John watching me, an awed look on his face. When he caught me looking at him, he gave me a thumbs up. I smiled at him and turned back to my work. I could still feel him watching me, but I decided to ignore him and continue. Hey, am I doing it right? Yeah, you're doing great. Several hours passed and I started feeling tired. Heileen, you can come down now. I followed his orders, and once my feet touched the floorboards again, he came closer to me. You were so great up there. Thanks. Am I really that good? Yeah, you were good. So very, very good. I gave him a smile, even if I couldn't shake the feeling that something weird was going on. Well, I think I should go now. It's almost lunchtime, and I'd like to prepare myself. Of course, see you later, Heileen. I waved goodbye to him, then walked back to my cabin. Once I was inside, Black burst out laughing. What's up? I raised my eyebrows as I watched him roll on the floor and wondered if he had suddenly gone mad. You must have caught your pants on a nail or something, because there's a huge hole in the back. I looked at my bottom, and sure enough, he was telling the truth. Anyone who looked at them could clearly get his full share of my panties. Then I suddenly remembered John, the way he was watching me, and the weird way he said that I was good. It wasn't because I was doing my job so well, it was because I had this damned hole in my pants. Black laughed some more once he saw me turning bright red. Hey, that's what I mean, Black. Stop laughing. La la la. I spent most of my break time hanging out with Ebile, Marie and Laura on land. We were having a long walk around the colony when Jonathan approached us with a light blush on his face. Hi. Oh, hello, Jonathan. Is there anything wrong? You look somehow distressed. Do I? Well, I'm fine, actually. Are you sure? I'm sure. I just came by to say how lovely the weather is. Indeed, that's why the four of us decided to have a stroll. I see. Well, did you perhaps stumble upon anything interesting? Nothing in particular. Why? Oh, nothing really. I was just asking. Ibina raised her eyebrows. Jonathan continued talking about trivial things. If you want something from us, just ask for it. Huh? You don't have to beat around the bush. Ibile, what are you talking about? This man clearly wants something from us and he's stalling nervously. Really? Everyone laughed at the sight of Jonathan getting embarrassed. Well, it's true, I do want something from one of you girls. Huh? What could Jonathan possibly want? As you can see, I'm quite interested in Juliet, but it seems that she doesn't feel the same way towards me. So I tried to think of a simple but hopefully effective plan. Oh, I'm curious to know what that is. What is it? What is it? I'm going to try to make Juliet jealous by painting another attractive girl. Marie's look of excitement disappeared and a light blush took its place. Oh. Telling you to pick one of the other girls. I see. Wow. Without a doubt, any of them are perfect to make Juliet jealous. Especially Bele, since they despise each other. Jonathan tried to not to look too pleased, but Bele gave me a sour look. I don't despise her, and she doesn't despise me. We just don't like each other. Maria Laura started laughing. Isn't that the same thing? No, it's not. And anyway, I'd never be comfortable if you drew me naked. Oh, no, it's just a normal painting. You're not going to pose naked. I still don't want to. I hate to say this, but I'm afraid of how Juliet will react. You should hate Heileen instead, for she is under Morgan's protection. If you say so. Jonathan walked around me and started eyeing me from head to toe. I knew that he was just an artist doing his job, but it was making me uncomfortable. Alright then, Mademoiselle Heileen, please follow me to my art workshop here in the colony, and we'll work on the painting there. He was about to leave us, but he stopped and turned his head back to Maria, Bele and Laura. You can come if you like. After that, he left without another word. Have fun, you guys. Aren't you coming with us? No. I still have some work to do. Show me the painting when it's done, okay? I nodded my head and Marie gave me a push. Now go. Don't keep Jonathan waiting. Marie urged us to go, so Bele, Laura and I followed Jonathan. Upon entering his workshop, Jonathan handed me a long white dress that looked something Roman woman wore. Change into this stola while I organised my plans. Okay. Both Laura and Bele joined me in the changing room and helped me get the confusing dress on. Oh my, you look absolutely wonderful, my dear. I agree, you're even more beautiful now. Thanks. Now go out there and knock Jonathan out with your beauty. I came out to the changing room and showed myself to Jonathan. Oh, you're done. Now we can... Whoa. Jonathan's mouth dropped once he saw me and he stared for quite a while. I could feel myself blush under his gaze and I fidgeted uneasily. Is something wrong? Do I look silly or something? He remained silent and continued staring. Laura smiled as he started to wave her hand in front of him. Hello, Earthly Jonathan. Has Helene's ethereal beauty petrified you? Jonathan still didn't react. What in the world? How are we supposed to start if the artist was just there to stand around gaping at the model? Then Bele and Laura decided to make fun of him. Oh dear, I think we should call Elias to check on him. Yes, or maybe he would feel better if Heileen gave him a mouth-to-mouth. No, he might die of shock if she did that. Oh wait, what if we called Juliet and asked her to give him a punch? Upon hearing the word punch, Jonathan jumped and started to shield his face. Don't punch me. All three of us laughed as we watched Jonathan panic. Welcome back to reality, Mr. Jonathan. We have been waiting for you. Hey, that was mean. Wow, we thought you might have suffered from a heart attack when you saw Heileen. No, it's just she looks more beautiful than I could ever imagine. Jonathan looked at me from head to toe and gave me a smile. I looked away from him, for I didn't want him to see me blush. Are we going to start now? Oh yes, if you could just hold this fruit and make a pose. What kind of pose? Anything, you can pull off. How about this? I placed the fruit in my hands and held it up like I was offering it to a god. I also tried my best to look as graceful as possible. That's perfect. Jonathan was already preparing his utensils when Laura subtly approached me. Heileen dear, if you guys really want to make Juliet jealous, you should make the painting more revealing. Scold her. Why did you always want things to be that way? Hey, why do you look upset? Did I say something wrong? Why don't you stop suggesting such foolish ideas? Relax, Heileen. She's just trying to help. Doesn't matter. This is final. I will not change my pose, even if you force me to. It's alright. I'm not going to force you to do anything. Your beauty alone is already more than enough. What? I looked at Jonathan, confused. And to my surprise, a light blush emitted from his cheeks. You see, you're always wearing that pirate outfit of yours. So? Jonathan blushed some more, then mumbled something I couldn't understand. I'm afraid I didn't hear what you said. He tried to speak louder, but it was spoken so fast that I didn't understand it again. Can you try again, a little slower? So I never knew that you had such a nice body. That's what I said. An awkward silence instantly surrounded us, but Abina and Laura's laughter made it disappear. Laughing. Look at you, Jonathan. Your face is so very red. Heileen is very red too. Oh, they look so cute. I'm not blushing. Jonathan let out a small cough, like he was telling all three of us it was about to begin. I think we should get to work now. Okay. I stood myself and Jonathan started drawing. I was looking at the clock so I'd be able to know how much time was passing. 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. A lot of the time was going by. I could feel my body getting numb. It'd been there Laura had left a while ago, so I started to feel a bit bored. Oh, if only I'd known it was going to take too much time, I would have made a simpler pose. Jonathan, how much longer do I have to pose? I'm getting tired. I looked over at him to see he was just starting canvas and wasn't working anymore. Hey! He jumped in surprise and looked up at me. My goodness, I apologise for that, Heileen. Why aren't you drawing anymore? Well, I was sort of in an artistic trance that I forgot to mention that I was already done. I'm sorry. It's okay, can I see it? Of course, come here. I happily obliged. He showed me the painting and I was lost for words. It's beautiful. Is that really me? Do I really look like that? Jonathan laughed as he ruffled my hair. Yes, that's you. Are you sure? Did you add anything that made me look like this? He laughed some more. You should believe in yourself, Heileen. That's how beautiful you really are. I felt myself blush. Thank you so much, Jonathan. You don't have to thank me. I should be the one who's thankful. So, is it alright if I change back into my usual clothes now? Jonathan nodded his head, and I quickly went to the change room. Once I was done changing into my clothes, I thanked him again and left. On my way back to the ship, I couldn't help wonder how Juliet would react. I think it would be enough to make her jealous, but I certainly hope it wouldn't make her destroy it. I kind of wanted to keep it for myself. Well, will there be there again? This is such a beautiful place, isn't it, Heileen? Indeed it is, Laura, indeed it is. Laura and I were sitting on top of a mountain enjoying the cool breeze. I don't know how or why we even got here in the first place, but somehow I feel so relaxed. Laura, don't you feel cold here? I had to ask her that, once I realised that she was wearing nothing but that flimsy material she wore when dancing. Honey, my dear, if I'm with you, I always feel hot. I instantly blushed, and surprisingly, Laura didn't even tease me about it. Therefore, I decided to continue relaxing. Then, all of a sudden, Kaya! Get away, Kaya! Huh? Ah! Help me! I tried opening my mouth to ask her what's wrong, but my mouth wouldn't even make a sound. What is wrong with you? Help me! Ah! And all of a sudden, Laura on the mountain, and its beautiful view replaced by the wooden ceiling of my cabin. Oh, it was just a dream. Ah, Otto, help! So Laura really was screaming. I instantly jumped out of bed. Black followed suit with a worried expression on his face. Did you hear that, Heileen? Of course I did. It's the scream that's loud enough to wake everyone on the ship. What do you think's going on? Is the ship being attacked? I don't think so. If it was, there'd be a huge racket outside. You should go take a look. For all we know, Laura might be in trouble. Don't say that, Black. I hurriedly rushed to the source of the scream, and when I arrived, there was already a crowd forming around Otto and Laura's cabin. In front of them were Juliet and Morgan, who appeared like they'd just got out of bed, looking very displeased. What's going on? Why did she scream? Was she attacked or something? She was attacked, all right. Morgan pointed at a small spider running away on the bridge. A spider? Yep, apparently her assailant is that tiny and weak spider. You don't understand, Morgan. If that happened to you, you'd probably freak out as well. Aren't you overreacting a bit, Laura? It's just a spider. No, I most certainly am not overreacting. It was walking all over my body, and when I woke up, it was right in front of me. It was crawling on my breast. It was on its way to my Before Laura could finish her sentence, Otto swiftly covered her mouth with his hand. But that still doesn't give you the right to scream and wake everyone up. Apologised to Laura. Listen, Morgan, I'm sorry for what Laura has done. I'll be more than willing to take the blame, so please don't be too hard on her. While pleading for Morgan's forgiveness, I couldn't resist looking at his body. That nicely toned chest down to his abs. It took on my willpower to prevent me from touching them. Juliet must have noticed what was going on, for she stepped in between Morgan and I, thus blocking him from my view. God damn it, Morgan, get some proper clothes on. What do you mean? You should know better than to walk around half naked. You're the leader and captain of this ship, for crying out loud. Morgan raised an eyebrow and then laughed. Look who's talking. You're almost naked yourself. That doesn't matter. At least no one is staring at me like a damn pervert. What the... Did she just call me a pervert? Juliet, you do realise that there are more people here who are interested in seeing you half naked than me, right? Juliet instantly got embarrassed and turned around to face him. Whatever, let's just go. And she grabbed his hand and made an attempt to walk away with him. However, when she pulled Morgan's hand, she almost stumbled, since Morgan didn't budge an inch. We're not done here yet, you know. Then hurry up and finish it with whatever you want to finish. Fine, I will. Morgan turned to me and then gave Laura and me a gentle smile, as if he wasn't even mad in the first place. I forgive you, Laura, but please don't let that happen again. I'll try my best. Alright then, since there's nothing to see here anymore, I strongly suggest that all of you go back to sleep. At that, everyone walked away. Then Morgan gave me a nod and departed as well, Juliet following close behind him. I'm going back to bed. You coming? Laura didn't answer. It was as if she was still too embarrassed to speak. I just don't take too long. Otto returned to his cabin, leaving me alone with Laura. I looked at Laura, who seemed almost in a trance. She was obviously admiring Morgan's body too. He has a nice body, doesn't he? While I agree with you on the matter, I'm not actually looking at Morgan, my dear. I'm actually looking at Juliet. Eh? Why would you look at her? She has such a nice body. How can anyone not look at her? Laura continued to stare at Juliet, still wearing that fervent look of admiration on her face. I decided to look at Juliet as well to see if Laura was actually right. Now that she mentioned it, Juliet does have a nice body. From those long legs to that flat abdomen. Oh, she looks better. I agree with her. You're probably right, Laura. Juliet certainly does like she's been keeping in shape. It's maybe because she's been doing a lot of physical exercise, not to mention she's still very young. Then I suddenly felt the atmosphere getting heavy. I looked behind me and saw Laura trying to hide a very serious look on her face. Did I offend her? Shoot, me and my big mouth. I think I need to go back to bed now. I shouldn't keep Otto waiting. He might get angry. You're probably right. Otto is way more dangerous than the spider, so you better hurry. Laura giggled, then bid me a good night as she turned around to go back into her cabin. Do the fencing with me? I have no idea. Juliet told me that we're sailing to another colony. The travel lasts 2 days, so I should find something else to do while aboard. I was busy preparing for another dance on the bridge with Laura, but she hadn't arrived yet. What was taking us so long? A few more minutes passed and Laura was still nowhere to be found. Did something happen to her? Then, as if to erase all the negative thoughts forming in my mind, Laura finally arrived with Abile in tow. Oh, is Abile going to dance with us? No. Then what is she doing here? We're going to have a beauty contest. I see. Wait, what? That was my reaction as well. What she was planning was absurd. The two of us looked at Laura, ignored our comments and continued talking. Each crew member will vote for who they think is the most beautiful girl on board. And the girl who garners the most votes wins. Laura looked at us to see our reactions, and at the exact same moment Abile glanced at the floor to avoid eye contact. I have decided to tell her what I thought. It will be a tough battle. With the both of you as my opponents, I doubt I would ever win. The fight for first place will be completely between you two. Whoop, whoop. You are wrong, Heileen. Why? You're almost everyone's favourite here, so I'm sure you'll gain a lot of votes too. I think it would be better if you said that you and Laura will fight for first place. Shush, you Belay. I'm sure it'll be a tough battle for all of us. Thanks to you two. I wish all three of us the best of luck then. I gave them a smile, and Belay smiled back. Then Laura went closer to her and whispered something in her ear, while wearing a mischievous yet somewhat sexy smirk on her face. The smile on Belay's face disappeared. She stared at me and then at Laura, her eyes wide in shock. Will you stop joking like that? Thank all the gods that you weren't born a man. If you were, Heileen might have lost her innocence a long, long time ago. Shh, not so loud, Belay. Losing my innocence? Oh God, what on earth are they talking about? Being slightly uncomfortable, I decided to try to change the topic in order to get rid of the awkward atmosphere. What time will this competition start anyway? Oh yes, it's about to start in a few minutes. Marie's just gathering the crew. I don't understand why you insist on making me participate when both Marie and Juliet aren't. Marie says she's the one that will count the votes since she isn't biased. As for Juliet, can you really imagine me asking her to participate in a beauty contest against the three of us? Abile sighed as Laura ushered the two of us out the door. And when we were headed for the bridge, I sneaked a quick look at Laura's body. She'll truly be a difficult opponent. Even if she's older than Bele and I, her body doesn't show it. She has such fine legs, smooth, beautiful skin, and such full breasts. Yeah. I wonder what it'd feel like to touch her. Like I could. Goodness, what am I thinking? Bad thoughts, bad thoughts. What in the world is going on in my head? We arrived at the bridge, just snapping out of my train of rather nasty thoughts. Upon seeing the number of people on the bridge, he instantly grabbed my arm for support. I think I'm going to faint, Heileen. I can't pose in front of so many people. Come on, Abile, you're just exaggerating things. You'll be fine. I hope so. I could see Juliet and Morgan in the middle of the huge crowd. This has got to be the most stupid event held in this place. Morgan stayed silent, like he didn't want to argue with Juliet's remark, but he was wearing a smile on his face. Then the competition started, and after we all did a few poses, Marie started tallying the votes. Your vote, Robert? Ibile, obviously. Counted. How about you, Elias? It's a tough choice, but I'm picking Laura. Laura it is. How about you, Morgan? Morgan moved closer and whispered his vote to Marie. Oh, Morgan votes for Heileen. Morgan covered his face with his hands and tried his best to avoid Juliet's death stare. Marie resumed asking everyone for votes, and if there was one vote for me, there would also be another for Abile and another for Laura. Once she was done, Marie started counting the votes. Wow, all the votes are accounted for, and as unbelievable as it seems, it looks like we have a three-way tie. Everyone groaned in disappointment as Marie recounted the number of votes. Oh wait, I don't think I asked John for a vote yet. Oh, so my brother gets to be the tiebreaker, huh? I guess so. He's the only one who isn't here. Do you know where he is? I'm sorry, but I have no idea. I'll just help you look. Thanks, it would be appreciated. Marie and Jonathan started looking for him with the help of some of the crew members. Then John finally appeared, looking like he'd just woken up. He was also being dragged by one of the crew members. I found him. He was taking a nap in his cabin. John looked like he was still half asleep, but once he got a look at us three, he almost instantly jerked awake. Did I die in my sleep? Am I in paradise already? John continued staring at the three of us, unaware of the fact that Juliet was beside him. If I'm not yet dead, then I can die happy. Ouch! The impact of Juliet's slap caused John to stumble. What the hell was that for? Give your vote so that we can end this idiotic thing already. Vote? What vote? What am I supposed to do? Well, instead of voting, it'd be better if you just told us who you think should have first, second and third places. Since all three of them are in perfect parity, you get to decide what their rankings will be. I see. John nodded and turned to look at us, his left hand holding his chin as if to show that he was deep in thought. He looked at Ebele, who was in a completely natural pose, like she was almost embarrassed to be in the whole situation. Laura, however, was the exact opposite. She started dancing sexily to catch John's attention. And being the pervert that John was, Laura's tactic was working like a charm. Don't imitate Laura. There's no way I'm going to do something as revealing as that. It's too embarrassing, and I'll never do it to just make John pick me. Besides, I didn't really care if I won or not. Laura's performance left a smile of contentment on John's face, but the smile quickly disappeared when he looked at me. He stared at me like he was expecting me to do something. When I didn't move, he asked me a question. Are you going to follow the steps of your adopted mother? Then he resumed staring at me, and I matched it with a glare. Not really, I very much prefer following you, Bele. He frowned, then diverted his gaze away from me. Okay, I think I made my decision now. Each and every person on the bridge looked at him, clearly eager to hear a word. I've decided Ibile is the winner, and Lauren and Heileen are tied for second place. Everyone who voted for Ibile cheered, and Ibile herself blushed, muttered a quick thanks to John, then left to join Robert. Finally, this whole nonsense is over and done with. I suggest that all of you return to your respective cabins now. Hey, Julia, how come we didn't join in? That would have made the contest more interesting to watch. You know what's more interesting to watch? You being keel-hauled and then eaten by sharks. I was just kidding around, Juliet. There's no need to take it so seriously. I think I'll go to my cabin now. Jonathan made a run for it, and Juliet continued to make everyone leave. Once everyone was gone, Laura and I followed John to ask why he did that. Well, in order to not choose between the two of you, I choose to make you be the winner instead. Oh, is that so? Yeah, sorry if I disappointed you. No need to worry about that, John. We are not disappointed at all. Laura's right, you didn't have to apologise. Then Laura moved closer to John and winked at him. You even made me think you're smarter than you look. John's face turned red and Laura stepped away from him. Let's go, Heileen, and good night, John. Good night, Laura. You too, Heileen. Yeah, night. As we made our way back to our own cabins, I looked at Laura, and when she caught me, she gave me a smile. Is there anything on my face, dear? No, it's just if I were given the chance to vote, I would have voted for you. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. She leaned in to kiss me on the cheek, but then she tripped and ended up kissing me on the lips. Oopsie. My hand instantly flew up to her lips and Laura laughed. You're so cute, Heileen. Well then, good night. She entered the cabin and I was left alone. Her cabin and I was left alone, my hand still on my mouth and my mind recalled the feeling of Laura's soft lips on mine. Ooh. Oh God. Yeah. I tried to hurry as I finished scrubbing the kitchen floor and then hastily dumped the cleaning supplies at their designated corner of the room. I nearly tripped my wrist towards the exit, catching Marco's attention. Leaving already, Heileen? I'm sorry, I promised Juliet to see her after dinner and I'm already late. Marco simply smiled, knowing what type of wrath I might face for my tardiness, and he returned to cleaning the counter. I briskly walked down the hallway and skidded into a halt so I could take a sharp turn right before continuing. My overactive thoughts could not help but imagine how Juliet would react once I arrived. She would probably stand up and yell, "You're late," and throw her sword at me right when I opened the door. I promised to give her math lessons so she would improve her counting ability. I stood before her cabin and hesitantly raised a hand. I knocked timidly, and I heard a female voice bark from the other side of the door. "About time, you're late." I gulped, pushed the door open, and then crouched instantly, expecting the sword to sail over me. However, nothing happened, and I cautiously glanced up, removing my hands from my face. Juliet arched an eyebrow, finding the reaction rather peculiar. "What are you doing on the floor, Birdie? Now hurry up and close the door." All right. Maybe I jumped to conclusions there. As I closed the door behind me, I got a good look at Juliet's attire. She sat before her desk, her legs crossed, with one elbow propped on the counter. Instead of her usual outfit, she wore a skimpy nightgown that complemented her voluptuous figure. My eyes widened at the sultry sight, and then I quickly averted my gaze, not wanting her to notice that I shamefully ogled her briefly. "I'm sorry, did I come too late? Are you preparing to go to bed already? I can teach you another time." Juliet laughed, finding my babbling amusing. "Settle down, Birdie. I'm wearing this because tonight is warmer than usual, and I wanted to be comfortable if I'm going to be staring at maths equations all night." She patted the empty chair next to her. "Now why don't you come over?" I brushed furiously and looked away. I refused to reproach Juliet with her dress that way. "It's fine, I can teach you from here." I heard a smirking sound as if Juliet food too early tried to suppress a guffaw. She roared loudly, one hand slapping the table unceremoniously. "You teach maths from all the way over there? What are you even going on about? Have you never seen a half-naked woman before?" "Of course I have, when I see myself in the mirror." Juliet leaned back on the chair, her arms holding her stomach as she continued to laugh boisterously. "You're a riot, you know that." Her face darkened slightly, and she pointed at the accounting books on the table. "Now come over here and teach me before I decide to use your body for sword practice instead. We've already wasted enough time over silly matters." After we reviewed the basic arithmetic and the primary algebra, we tackled the most recent bounty summary. The lesson ran smoothly until I noticed an inconsistency related to Jonathan's payment. Instead of the monthly 10 reals he was supposed to pay, only half was recorded. I brought it to Juliet's attention, who scrutinised the numbers. "Did Jonathan forget to pay in full? He doesn't seem the type of person to miss a payment. Odd. I don't recall giving him money to Morgan recently. Now that you mention it, I did see John hand over some coins to Sebastian last week. I just assumed it was the result of some gambling bet, so I didn't think it was out of the ordinary." So Juliet jumped up and slammed her hands on the table, causing me to jump. "That no-good thief, Sebastian. I'll slit his gullet and tie his entrails to the bowsprit. I'll get to the bottom of this." She stood up and ushered me out hastily, explaining that she needed to change before storming over to Sebastian's cabin. A few minutes later we arrived before his cabin. Juliet already banged on the door with a firm fist. "Open up, you swindler, before I bash the door down." Shuffling was heard on the other side, and the door cracked open slightly. A cautious eye peered through the space before Sebastian widened it enough to reveal his entire frame. What's going on? Juliet jabbed a finger in his direction, taking a stance as she furrowed her eyebrows at him. Don't play dumb, I mean dumber, with me, you oaf. Jonathan only paid half of what expected from him, and Heileen saw him give money to you. If you don't explain what's going on, I'll drag the poor artist into this too. I have no idea what you're talking about. He faltered under the two intense stares, and he coughed weakly as he appeared to formulate a new answer. Wait. Now that you mention it, Jonathan did deliver 10 reels and requested I give them to Morgan since he was in a hurry. I guess a few coins went missing during that exchange. Juliet placed her hand on the hilt of the sword, gritting her teeth in a barbaric fashion. Jasper flinched at the sight, taking a step back where he exposed his open palms to quell her temper. Wait, I'm sure I have them. He retreated into his cabin and knelt by his bed, extending a long arm under the furniture. After a victorious aha, he sauntered back to us, displaying a small pouch that jingled of coins. He turned the sack over, and after a few stakes, 5 reels tumbled into his hand. See, everything is all right now. I'm sorry for the trouble. He flashed his most winning smile, hoping to smooth things over. Juliet snatched the money, and the coins clinked in her grip before she shoved them into her pocket. However, her eyes never left Sebastian, as if she was still determining what sort of punishment to dish out to him. He looked visibly worried, and his grin began to strain. Should I forgive him, or side with Juliet? Accept the apology. I think we've hounded him enough, Juliet. I'm sure this would never happen again, right, Sebastian? I beamed at him sweetly, and he nodded, agreeing with me. Juliet's stern face softened, although her posture was still rigid and commanding. I'll let this slide once. If you repeat this mistake, I'll have you tied to the mast. She turned with a hoof and walked away. As soon as she was out of sight, Sebastian gave me a grateful look and sheepishly rubbed the back of his head. I guess I should be thankful. You did save me from Juliet's wrath. I won't ask if it was indeed an honest mistake, or if you are hoping to apply for extra coin from pilots. Just don't tempt fate again. Seriously, since when did Juliet stop making careless mistakes in her accounting? I guess I can't get away with this anymore. My jaw dropped in astonishment at Sebastian's impetuous utterance, and he forced a chuckle. I was kidding, love. It isn't my hair, causing my banana to go off kilter. I pouted and fixed up my hair, glaring at him sullenly. Once he retreated into his room, I decided to return to Juliet, who I found lingering by her own cabin. Thank you for discovering that mistake. Surprised by her rare gratitude, I beamed brightly and clasped a tearful hand onto her shoulder in a friendly manner. It's no problem. I was glad I was able to help you, Juliet. Juliet stiffened from the touch, her gaze focused on the hand, staring as if a fly had landed on her instead. I noticed her distaste, and I immediately removed my hand, distancing myself from Juliet. There was an awkward pause between us as I recomposed myself. Well, it's getting late. We should probably call it a night. We can continue our lesson another time. Juliet pursed her lips in thought, carefully moving over the notion of a second session. Yes, another time. Later, Birdie. After we exchanged goodbyes, we retired into our respective cabins for the night. I'd like to think Juliet opened up to me a little more this evening. Yeah. Uncle, ah! Where is he now? Otto asked me to bring him some snacks, but now I can't find him. Hey, sorry for bothering you, but have you seen my Uncle Otto? No, I haven't. Okay, thanks anyway. Where in the world could he possibly be? I tried his cabin, the dining hall, heck, I almost even tried the bathroom. That's it. If I couldn't find him in the next 5 minutes, I could eat every single one of these snacks. I made my way to the bridge, and when I got there, I noticed Laura and Marie. Laura, have you seen my uncle? He went to Jonathan's place in the colony to have a game of chess. What? Is something wrong, dear? Does he expect me to bring all the way there to him? What am I, his slave? Oh, don't worry, I'll go with you. I can keep you company. Marie excitedly took my arm and led the way to the colony. Be careful. On our way to Jonathan's place, Marie started talking about how different Jonathan was from John. Jonathan is more of a gentleman, unlike John, who sometimes acts like a pig. That's it for this session. I'll save. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or whatever you're doing, and I'll see you next time.